Hello everybody, how are you guys? Today, we're going to be discussing stuff from old leaks. Way back when, Godzilla versus, King of the Monsters. Godzilla versus King. When Godzilla King of the Monsters came out, Sayaka already started talking about how he saw, concept arts. And, he went in depth about what these concept arts were. And basically, in these concept arts, he talked about this when he first referred to Mechagodzilla, and we got our first hint at Mechagodzilla being the movie. And he said he saw the concept art of a skullcrawler being killed, laying next to Mechagodzilla. He also gave us some other information in this movie. I believe he first talked about the Hong Kong battle and stuff. But one of the big things that always stood out to me that he gave us information-wise about this film was when he talked about and discussed that Kong will be using weapons. Specifically, he'll have his own axe. Now, like, I've joked around about this and said it kind of gives me Kratos vibes, with Kong getting a beard, becoming an old ragged man, and now he's going to have an axe. Well, obviously they're going to do something to try to get Kong an advantage, especially since, if we go off the leaks and stuff, you know, that he's not going to have any sort of, like, powers. So, no lightning powers. Don't expect anything like that. And, if he has no powers and whatever, he's got to use just his intellect and his, just surroundings and stuff as pure raw strength. So, what exactly would he use to beat Godzilla? Well, according to Sayaka, back from concept art, remember, this could change since this is supposedly concept. It could easily be that he makes his own axe or something. So I don't believe we have any information on, like, what the axe looks like or anything. So it's really hard to say with no details exactly what the axe is, like, to really give us a clear answer of our question of today. So basically, if we just go off and say, hey, there's an axe, well, who made it? Or how did Kong get it? Well, I think there's a few different methods here that could possibly come into play and explain why Kong has an axe now, exactly who made it, where he got it from. And so yeah, we're gonna go through each of these ones that I thought of. Whether or not any of them happen, you know, they could all be fake. In fact, the whole leak, you know, the whole axe leak could be, I guess, fake, although Sayaka has said in past is a really reliable source. I thought he lied about this, but again, he said this from concept phase, and he has not mentioned it again since. So if this was purely a concept, well, it could be changed, especially if there's reshoots about to happen. So what exactly is the axe? Where'd he get it from? One of the first methods, I think, is a pretty safe and obvious one that I would say most people would assume. Possibly, maybe it's just me, but I would assume possibly that Kong made it himself. Now again, we don't know what it's going to be made out of from the concept. Sayaka didn't give us information on details on how it looked and such. So we go based off just the fact it's an axe. Kong definitely could have made it. He lives on Skull Island. His island hasn't really, as far as we know, been been like mined or anything, like really like destroyed, dug into, other than what we've seen in the comics and Skull Island. With that, I would say definitely Kong. He definitely probably has a lot of material to work with there. I would assume, honestly, thinking of what the axe probably is, my first assumption would be that Kong took a tree, got some vines or something, wrapped a big rock, really sharp rock around it. I think that would be a fair one. What if Kong didn't make it? You know, what if it wasn't something like that? What if it wasn't Kong's, like, experiment or something? Because, like, they could do it to really show Kong's intelligence to film. But what if it isn't? Just what if it's something else? Well, there's a few other methods that could answer our question. Well, one of them is simply that the humans And when I say humans, Monarch or Apex made it for him. First off, for Monarch could be part of the reason Kong is on the island anyways. What do I mean? Well, or when I say on the island, I mean on the mainland. How? Well, Kong simply could have just got brought over. We do see in the leaked footage that it seems there's like a super ship or something that Godzilla and him's able to stand on. So it is completely possible that Monarch are the ones who brought him over, and for some reason they're maybe trying to free him, not free him, but like help him. We do know Skull Island's going to be going through some crazy stuff in the film with seismic waves and stuff, and it could be possible that there's just something that Monarch's trying to get him off the island for some reason. I doubt Monarch's going to be really the pursuer of fighting in this film, but for some reason they could just have an axe made for him, you know. I cannot see Monarch really being the one who would make an axe for him, but it's just a possibility. And then the next one I could think of could possibly be that Apex made it for him. Now this one seems make a lot more sense. Now, what if Apex is the ones that brought him to the island to mainland in the first place, you know? Again, this is thinking that if Kong doesn't leave the island by himself, thinking that the superboat was to bring him off, it could definitely be that Apex was the ones who made it for him to give him a weapon because they want Godzilla to die. We know there's definitely a hatred for Godzilla. We saw that in King of the Monsters, if Apex is Jonah Allen's group, at least. And it could be very likely that, you know, they made this axe to give Kong an advantage to kill Godzilla. If Apex is involved, well, I think there's two other methods that can make sense. The first one is the Iwi people, the Iwi tribe. I think the Iwi tribe could have possibly made it for him. You know, whether it be like a gift, you know, for, you know, him protecting them. You know, they made it for him as something to help him in battle, help him defend himself, you know. It could be something that the Iwi made for him as a gift or just anything, you know, just something to help protect the island. How would the Iwi make it? I don't know. We don't have enough details on the axe. It would be pretty hard to do, though, probably for them with their island. So what's the other option? What if in the Hollow Earth there is sort of like a somewhere on Scotland or Hollow Earth, there was sort of like an ancient civilization that worshipped Kong, like Kong species. And what if they left behind and made a axe form that Kong ends up going in, since he guards the Hollow Earth and goes in there, he ends up taking with him in the battle against Godzilla. I think that would be pretty cool if they really connected him to the ancient people and he kind of has this big destiny moment where he finds an axe, pulls it, and then he's got it from the ancient people. I think that would be pretty interesting to see if the ancient people. Now that's 5 ways right there. Kong made it, Monarch made it, Apex made it, Iwis made it, or ancient civilization. I don't see any other way that this would be made, unless it's something crazy like he ripped Mechagodzilla apart and took it from like Mechagodzilla's remains or something. But there's just something, those are the only 5 options I could see plausible. Again, if this is in the movie, and you know, it could not be, especially since there was possibly reshoot stuff going on. I think it'd be really interesting to see. I assume that if that is something they keep in the film, that's probably some of the ways they do it. You know, I know a lot of people probably don't like the idea of Kong swinging a big axe around, but I mean, I could see it happening, just if it logically makes sense, if it's something that makes sense for him to have, whether it be someone made it for him or a logical way he can make it. Who knows? You know, we don't have enough information on it to really decide. But what do you guys think? Would you guys like to see Kong swinging a big axe around the movie? You know, whooping Godzilla, Mechagodzilla, some other kaijus with it. Would you like to see? Would you not? Do you think it's kind of a dumb idea? Let me know down in the comments below. I'm interested to hear your thoughts. Thank you all for watching. Again, please try to subscribe if you're new around here. And as always, peace. Have a great day.